why don't we start with the S&P, and why don't you give us a little bit of your view of how this, low, specifically this low in the mid of June, and whatever comes after that, how do you interpret all of that?
Well, that is a good question, Roman. And for me, well, let's talk about this area first of all. We are oversold, okay? Within this demand line, within this trend channel. And on the approach to here, one could argue that this bar is kind of climactic. And then we have this bar here that doesn't really go anywhere. We hold from here deep in the oversold position. And again, it's hard to label this bar, but the point is we start trading back within the trend channel from an oversold condition. And importantly here, Roman, this selling is definitely the most aggressive selling we've seen from any of these kind of well, I mean, this is pretty aggressive here, but this really falls out of bed. And what's interesting about this here is one would expect this kind of selling to have some kind of downside continuation. But as we've noted, kind of is climactic. So would you be thinking this is climactic here?
Absolutely.
Good. We have some kind of, why with all this volume and this spread, we know there's a lot of hidden buying in this bar. And then there's no downside continuation. We hold. We have good buying. We trace this very deep. This bar is somewhat of an enigma here, Roman. There's an opportunity to come down, but ultimately the buys bring it back up and we do close kind of firm. That kind of paves the way for higher prices in a way. And then we do rally. And first observation about this rally is, Roman, there's not a great deal of volume here. And I would say that's to be expected. Why? Well, because kind of this action over here would have exhausted supply. The climactic action, this kind of not stopping volume, but, no follow through from here and we rally. And it kind of halts more or less where we would expect it to. But look at the following bar here. Look at the volume. Look at the spread. Effort versus result. As we're trying to break on through this structural level, we're immediately met with selling. Bearish effort versus result. And then we break on down. Slight pop in volume. No pop in volume, sorry. Then we just break on down. And then we halt. Now, this bar, again, that is what I'd call some kind of stopping action. Okay, so if we're trying to react, the market should be reacting down here or this oversold condition, and it doesn't. Volume comes into the market once again. We get a nice little demand tail. The market holds. Okay, that's interesting. Shows a little bit of strength. That's what it shows. And then this bar here dips down, closes firm, lower volume, kind of ease of movement. You could label that ease of movement in a way. It's not clean ease of movement, but you understand what I'm saying here, Rome, due to the volume profile and the fact that it dips under this low to reverse and close firm with less volume. There's less selling friction. And then this, I would expect upside continuation from this bar. But then this bar, now we have 3 bars. This one dips down. So we have a trio of bars creating a support level here. And now we have the highest close. And I found that bar to be of interest. Now I'm thinking, okay, for whatever reason, the market's holding here and we'd expect a rally. Where's this logical place for the market to rally to? I'd say would be up here. Okay, but it doesn't. It halts. And the nature of this rally, I would say, look at this volume. It's the kind of the lowest volume up bar we've seen from over here, which you could argue kind of has no demand qualities into this area of supply. And of course, this action over here, Roman, is an upthrust of this level. And we have supply here, and we have all this high volume over here. So we know it's going to take volume. It's going to take market participants to break through this area. Sorry, if you'd like to clean this up, Roman. It's getting a bit messy. So we know it's going to take it's going to take volume to break through. Then again, what do we have? So this is an attempt to break, not as strong as this break. And then we were met with this kind of effort versus result. And again here, this time, this is more overt effort versus result because the volume picks up a little. Here it decreases. But you could argue due to the spread we can see that the sellers are capping the upside progress here. And then we come back down, and this is what I find interesting, Roman. I would say that this rally is not as strong as this rally. I mean, we can see that in terms of that now the volume's kind of higher, the average volume is higher, yet the progress to the upside is thwarted, which means one thing: selling is present. And that kind of makes sense, because if the market wants to go higher, it has to try and absorb some of this selling pressure to the left. But then, as we react down here, I'd say that this selling is actually of better quality than this selling. So although the buying is deteriorating, the selling has deteriorating on this reaction down. But a little bit more information I'll be taking away from this, Roman, is this is the resistance level where the market should be testing to find selling, the logical place, but now it's coming a little bit earlier than expected. Why can't, if the market was uber bullish, why aren't we coming up here? Like, that's the way I'm interpreting this. And then today's bar, Roman, wow, due to the the priced in interest rate decision, or what is it, 75 basis points, we have this wacky bar from the US Open, which I'm sure we will have a look at. And now we're going to look at the volume already, Roman. We're going to probably print higher volume than this. And if I'm looking from a technical perspective, not taking in the fundamentals of the whys behind the move, if this market was trying to rally and it has this kind of bar with very high volume, it shouldn't be occurring if we're trying to move on higher. Why do I say that? Well, the sellers are in control. We're making downside progress, and it's the buyers that need to prove themselves. And to have this kind of volatility coming into this area, I would say it favors the sellers. Now, that's not to say, we still have the rest of the trading session to unfold, but I do think it will be quite an important bar because the volume will be extremely high. I would like to see the resolution. I want to see the close today. Now, for me, I would say that this is kind of an important area. These three little bars. I'm surprised we didn't test down there, but we still have the rest of the trading session. If we break this, we're going down here, which means now again, if we come down here, where are we? We're at a demand confluence. We're at the oversold condition, and we're at this support level. So as it stands at this moment in time, Roman, I would say the market is looking suspect or vulnerable to more downside continuation. However, I still need to see the resolution of today's bar.